Book title: Madusa's Minds, Reflections of Ego version 1.0. Author: J.R. Wert. Chapter 42. Village to Vision. Ego's Illusion and the Spiritual Scaffold for Authentic Kingdoms. In exploring the layered message imparted in the saying, "You can't build a kingdom with someone that still craves attention from the village," we are guided to a deeper understanding of the ego's role in shaping human interactions and its impact on spiritual growth. This adage artfully communicates the challenge of establishing deep and authentic connections when one is entangled in ego-driven pursuits, as it highlights the ego's relentless craving for external validation, acknowledgement, and attention. To properly analyze the saying, it is vital to begin by deconstructing the multifaceted dimensions of the ego. This notion is symbolically represented within the adage where the village mirrors the external world, a sphere dictated by materialism, societal expectations, and the perilous path of comparison. The ego thus becomes a barrier, driving individuals towards superficial accomplishments and away from a deeper, inner journey of spiritual realization and growth. Further delving into the realms of human interaction, we observe the ego fostering competition, envy, and separation, characteristics fundamentally opposed to the core values of spiritual kingdoms that are built on unity and interconnectedness. This unyielding quest for validation and attention from the village signifies a surrender to the ego's illusions, a departure from authenticity, and a diversion of energy from the nourishing pursuit of spiritual growth. In fact, it acts as a disruptive force, undermining the very foundations of harmony and higher purposes. But at the heart of kingdom building lies a call for authentic collaboration, one that necessitates the transcendence of egoic confines. The formation of spiritual kingdoms is dependent on establishing harmonious collaborations involving individuals who have moved beyond the narrow boundaries of ego, embracing instead a grander cosmic vision from higher consciousness. Guided by principles of unity and equilibrium, this pathway demands a shift from the ego's self-centric desires towards a collective ascension, fostering a community that is free of judgment and rivalry and is marked by a reverence for interconnectedness. Within the framework of diverse religious and spiritual ideologies, a state of perfect contentment is often envisioned as the apex of bliss and enlightenment, a dimension of harmony, serenity, and union with the divine. The journey towards such a transcendental plane, however, poses difficult challenges for those entwined in the labyrinth of ego. At the very foundation of this struggle lies the nature of the ego itself, which fosters a segregation narrative by constantly nurturing identification with the self, thus establishing a sense of separateness from others and the divine. This stands in stark contrast to the teachings of numerous spiritual doctrines, which advocate for self-transcendence, necessitating individuals to break free from the clutches of the ego's desires, ambitions, and pursuits. In this endeavor, an understanding of the dynamic between healthy emotional attachment and detached awareness becomes pivotal. The term detached awareness is often mistaken for emotional detachment, a misconception that has confused many spiritual followers. It is important to define the enlightened state of detached awareness, characterized by freedom from the overwhelming influence of material and transient aspects of existence, from emotional detachment, which essentially leads to isolation and an inability to forge meaningful relationships. Quite contrary to the ego's tendency to foster detachment, spiritual enlightenment calls for a harmonious balance between embracing detached awareness and nurturing healthy emotional attachments, born out of egolessness, which facilitates deeper understanding and empathy. Another barrier erected by the ego in the path to spiritual enlightenment is the perpetuation of duality, fostering a binary view of existence defined by contrasts like right and wrong, pleasure and pain. This is fundamentally at odds with the nature of a harmonious celestial garden depicted in many spiritual doctrines, which is seen as a realm transcending dualities, offering an existence marked by unity and interconnectedness. Sadly, the ego, with its roots deeply embedded in dualistic thought patterns, hinders individuals from realizing this state of harmonious whole, thereby rendering the concept of a sanctuary of serenity an elusive dream. Further complications arise from the manner in which the egoic mind functions, often employing lenses coloured with personal biases, judgments, and preconceived notions, invariably distorting the perception of realities. including the understanding of divine truths inherent to the idea of a kingdom of tranquility. The path to genuine spiritual growth requires an individual to cultivate a mind purified from ego-induced distortions, fostering transparency and receptivity essential for recognizing the celestial principles that resonate with heaven's essence. In this complex landscape of ego-induced barriers, pride emerges as a potent adversary to spiritual advancement, while the realms of heaven are perceived to resonate with humility and boundless love. The ego, on the other hand, thrives on pride and self-centeredness, an inclination that gravely obstructs the ability to embody the qualities respected as passports to the celestial domains. In this context, humility, rooted in the recognition of the ego's limitations, facilitates a much-needed expansion of self, serving as a cornerstone in one's spiritual journey. Moreover, the resistance to surrender, a natural inclination of the ego fearing loss of control and identity, presents a significant roadblock in this journey. Surrender, seen as an act of yielding to a higher power, remains an essential stride toward transcending egoic confines, a gesture pivotal in unveiling the spiritual truths vital in navigating the path to eternal bliss. The ego's resistance, driven by a fear of dissolution, impedes this profound transformation, adamantly opposing the relinquishment of control, which is vital for spiritual awakening. Embarking on the sacred pathway to realms of eternal peace requires individuals to undergo a transformative journey characterized by the dissolution of the ego and the awakening of the spiritual higher self. This mandates steering through a labyrinth of ego-generated hindrances, encompassing self-fixation, illusory control, dichotomous perspectives, and distorted understanding of reality. It is a journey that demands nurturing virtues of humility and a commitment to meticulously peel away the multifaceted layers of the ego, fostering a connection with the divine essence portrayed in diverse spiritual traditions. Despite the intrinsic complexities, this spiritual expedition promises to lead individuals into a space of profound enlightenment and harmony, a destination often equated with reaching the heavens. To undertake this transformation, one needs to summon considerable resolve to conquer the relentless challenges posed by the ego in a dedicated endeavor toward achieving self-awareness and spiritual realization. It is a pilgrimage that is both strenuous and indispensable, one that is founded on a committed engagement with mindfulness and introspection. This journey could be nurtured through modalities such as mindfulness and self-inquiry, tools that empower individuals to disentangle themselves from the grips of the ego, fostering progression towards a spiritually enlightened state that thrives on authenticity and harmonious unity. In this regard, the ancient wisdom encapsulated in spiritual teachings invites individuals to rise above the ego's disruptive influence, championing the development of spiritual domains anchored in harmony, respect, and collective growth. This wisdom portrays the ego not as a facilitator, but as a formidable obstacle in one's spiritual voyage. It encourages rising above the fleeting satisfactions offered by the materialistic world, characterized metaphorically as the village, to strive for something pure and transcendent. Thus, the call is to heed a higher purpose, promoting synergy and unity in sculpting avenues toward higher consciousness. It is here that the zenith of human collaboration could potentially be realized, crafting an environment where sublime and magnificent expressions of human potential come to fruition, grounded in a collective vision and guided by a transcendent purpose. It is a journey toward creating an existence rich in spiritual wisdom and unity, offering a prospect where individual and collective growth occurs in harmony, carving a pathway to an infinite expanse of peace through spiritual enlightenment and the fostering of deeper connections with the surrounding world.